Good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before I start today's video, I thought I would just very quickly reintroduce myself because I haven't done that for quite a while. So if you are new here, then good morning. My name is Lyndsey. I started YouTubing only back in January, so I am still relatively new and still finding my feet and figuring everything out. I would love to have you around. I vary with what I tend to post, so some of it's home decor, some of it's lifestyle, some of it's fashion, but most of all, I try and keep everything as cozy as possible. If you are new here or if you haven't done so yet, then number one, please do give this video a like if you enjoy. Number two, it would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button before we get started so that you don't miss any more of my videos. So I got myself up this morning as I usually do and made the bed. And I thought I would talk you through some of the habits that I have actually adopted this year that seem to be working really well for me, especially since I kind of made a conscious effort to do them at the start of spring. They've made quite an impact on my health, my mood, energy levels, my overall happiness, just everything in general. And I thought that this might be a nice place to start. I have literally made the bed, had a quick shower. Yes, I have put my pajamas back on, but they were clean when I put them on last night. I just wanted something cozy, just for me to have breakfast and do everything I need to do before I get dressed. Literally brushed my hair, put a very small amount of makeup on just to perk myself up a bit and make myself feel good after doing a quick skincare routine. And the rest I still need to do today. I will say making the bed is a really good habit to have. It's not included in my 5 because I have been doing it for quite a long time, but making the bed always puts me off to a good start in the day. It makes me feel productive. The sun has just come out as well, which is the nicest feeling. It makes me feel productive, makes me feel happy, and it just makes me feel good when I leave the room and it's looking nice, and it is the nicest thing to come back to when you do go to bed later on as well. Without further ado, I am going to go and get myself dressed and finish getting ready, and then we will crack on with the day and I will chat you through my first habit. I'm now dressed. The sun is out today, so I am fully embracing it. You will probably see on my shoulders, maybe. I did catch the sun a little bit yesterday and I did get a little bit burnt, but just on my shoulders and ever so slightly on my back. And I am fully moisturised and I have fully learnt my lesson. It always happens the first time the sun comes out, and then I up my SPF and I am well behaved when I go out in the sun because I do not tan by any means. So the first 2 habits that I have formed that I have been trying to stick to and doing quite well actually, both start in the morning. So the first thing I've been trying to do is make sure I have breakfast. Now I'm not going to show you my omelette up close because it's kind of a fail. I didn't do very well at it. I don't know what happened, but it kind of didn't go very well. So I'm going to attempt to eat it and hope that the bacon is maybe cooked. One thing that I was really rubbish at the start of the year was having breakfast at the start of the day. And I've always been the kind of person who tends to feel a little bit tired throughout the day. I kind of have all of my energy first thing in the morning. I'm not really a late night person. I'm an early bird, as they say. I'm absolutely fine when I'm up in the morning, and then throughout the afternoon I kind of slowly go like this. And since I decided that I was going to start making sure I had breakfast every morning, I have definitely noticed an increase in my energy. Whether it's just like a bowl of cereal or some croissants or some toast, or if I've got time, something more like an omelette. Please excuse me just munching on my omelette whilst I'm talking to you because they get cold very quickly. I am finding that it is giving me some more brain energy, so that is definitely something that I'm going to stick to as much as I can, even if it means just getting up a few minutes earlier in the morning to go downstairs, grab an orange juice, grab a bowl of cereal, whatever it may be, depending on how much time I've got. I'm definitely going to be sticking to that, and it seems to have quite an effect on my energy levels throughout the day. Now, another habit that I have been trying to stick to, habit number 2, involves my favourite thing, well, one of my favourite things in the world, tea. I can't remember where I heard this. I have a feeling it might have been on Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO podcast, when he had one of his kind of sciencey guests on. I just can't remember which episode it was. I think they were talking about sleep and all these other effects that caffeine tends to have. And one thing that the person on the podcast mentioned was how long it actually took for caffeine to leave your system once you'd taken it in. And so I thought I would try it out, because from being in an office in my previous job, I would literally have 4 or 5 cups of tea a day, right up until about 4 o'clock, 4:30, and then I would come home, I would have another cup of tea after my dinner, and since that point, my tea intake has gone down a little bit, but the one thing that I have been trying hard to do is to make sure that I don't have any cups of tea after 12 o'clock, so after lunchtime. I'm also noticing that I'm getting less headaches for sure, which may be because before I was getting like caffeine withdrawal when I wasn't having tea in the afternoon. If I had a day where I didn't really drink much tea, I used to always find that I got a headache, and as soon as I then went and made myself a cup of tea, the headache would go away. So now that I've slowly sort of weaned myself off the tea as well, that does seem to be causing less headaches for me. Habit number 3 kind of links to my home decor theme. That is obviously one of my big loves. I absolutely adore shopping for home decor and restyling the house, and I just do it all the time. The downside of that is obviously that I can quite quickly build up a collection of home decor pieces, and it can get a little bit overwhelming. I do always have some kind of storage area to keep everything, and that is just kind of the result of being on Instagram a lot. And obviously a massive thing for me is that I'm a very seasonal person, so I love to decorate for Easter, I love to decorate for pumpkins. I think that is just my favourite thing ever. Obviously Christmas as well, and everything summery. Any kind of seasonal event that happens over the year, I just love to decorate for. So that quite quickly becomes something that requires a lot of storage. Now, the habit that I've been trying to get into is actually to have a bit more of a rotation system, similar to the way that I have my clothes as well. It can kind of work in so many different ways. It doesn't have to just be for home decor. But when I buy something new of a particular thing, I will always go through the existing ones of the same thing that I already have and see if there's something, at least one, if I can do more than one, great, that I'm able to clear out. So if I were to buy a new vase, a bit like the one I've got in the corner just here, which I very recently bought, I went through the other vases that I had in the house, and I was actually able to get rid of one and put it up for sale. Equally, if I buy any books, I try and get rid of a few. If I buy a new pair of jeans, I try and get rid of a new pair of jeans. When I buy a new bouquet or some floral stems, I kind of go through the bits that I already have and maybe look to see if there are any that I told myself I was going to use that I didn't, or I thought I was going to use and has kind of just stayed in storage and has never really come out. I'm kind of trying to enjoy the shopping and enjoy buying new things and not kick myself for doing so, but equally having a bit of a clear out or simply having a rotation system when I do so that the amount that I need to store doesn't increase, but I am still finding some beautiful new pieces at the same time. Quick update, guys, about the Sainsbury's vase I was on the hunt for as well. I did finally find it when I was on my travels. I found myself driving past a big Sainsbury's and I thought, oh, I'll go in and just have a very quick look. It was £16, I think, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. This isn't quite the arrangement that I'm going to leave in it, but I just didn't want it to be empty, so I grabbed something very random and probably a little bit too small, just to keep it happy in the meantime. But I'm really pleased with it. I think it's so pretty, and would you actually believe I managed to get this into the house without James even noticing, and it has been here for quite a few days now and he hasn't said anything, so he's either let me get away with it or he hasn't even noticed that it's there, because the one that was here before is currently on this table. I don't think he'll mind. I'm just supposed to be. I said to him, you have to stop me buying things. So bless him, he's just doing as he's been told. Habit number... what number are we on? 4. Habit number 4. This habit is one that's very important to me. I do not exercise very much, and if I told myself that I was going to start going to the gym, or I was going to start doing some kind of intense exercise class, or I was going to start going out for a run, it would just be a complete lie, because it's just not for me. But as well as getting a bit of exercise, one thing that's really important for me this year as well is actually for mental reasons, and it is just to get outside. Whether that is sitting out in the garden, whether it is doing some gardening, whether it is going for a morning walk or an evening walk, or going on more of like a trek, like a hike somewhere. I am really trying my best to spend some more time outdoors. I've started doing it in spring and it's definitely paying off. I'm finding that my mood is increasing and it's making me feel more productive. I just have more joy from being outside. It's kind of something that James and I have agreed as well. We want to try, and unless it's like pouring with rain, we want to try in the evening, once we've had our dinner, to make an effort, whether that is a 15-minute walk, whether it's an hour walk, to just go outside and enjoy it and just be around nature and make the most of the countryside that we do have around the house. And the plus side is, when we move to our new house very soon as well, we are going to have even more countryside, which I am very excited for. The 5th and final habit that I have been pushing myself to continue doing in spring, which is definitely paying off, kind of links to my self-care time. The specific part of it is having self-care time, but having it without screens. So not being on my phone, just gonna put my tea down because I finished it and I'm just throwing an empty mug around for no reason. Having time off of my phone, having a bath without watching something on my iPad or on my phone. So if I do want to have some background noise, then I'm finding a podcast is really nice to listen to, or even just like a meditation or some calming music, but without watching anything. I'm kind of just taking the time to do things that don't involve screen time, to just pull myself out of it, because I could scroll Instagram. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on TikTok. I have to really pull myself out of TikTok. It is like going down a rabbit hole. But I could just scroll Instagram for hours, and it's really important for me that I just put my phone away, switch off, swapping watching something on my phone for sitting in the garden or sitting in bed and reading a book, especially before I go to sleep at night, reducing my screen time then and just having some time where I'm reading a book or just listening to some music, listening to a podcast, listening to something or doing something that doesn't involve being on my phone, is probably also helping my quality of sleep and helping me get to sleep quickly and easily compared to how I was before. I hope you've enjoyed. I appreciate that this video is something a little bit different to what I've been doing. It's an important part of what I've been doing and something that I really wanted to share with you. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, then make sure to like the video, or if you've been secretly watching and haven't subscribed yet, then it would mean a lot to me if you could hit the subscribe button. I will be back next Sunday with another video, and I'm hoping that very soon the moving vlogs will be able to get started, which is just going to be so exciting. I cannot wait. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch up with you soon. Goodbye.